I help small biotech companies from outside of the United States go through the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration regulatory process to develop drugs for rare diseases. I'm also super involved in advocacy groups for Dravet Syndrome. And this all started because I have a daughter who is going to be 13 years old this month, and she has Dravet Syndrome. So I've been involved with the Dravet community for 13 years. The study was started out of a need for having some type of methodically arranged recommendations for the diagnosis, treatment, and also understanding and treatment of comorbidities associated with Dravet syndrome. Until the paper was published earlier this year, there wasn't such a consensus. The findings have been fairly consistent with what we all thought they would be. We came out with recommendations on how to diagnose early, when to test genetically, the importance of genetic testing. Also, we came out with a treatment algorithm for the prophylactic management of Dravet syndrome in North America that's based on first and second line therapy as well as third line therapy. And we came out with some conclusion and some consensus on the emergency management in the hospital, although the overall consensus was pretty low on that arm. Whenever you have a disease state that is as focused on one gene mutation as Dravet syndrome is on the SCN1A mutation, regardless of the fact that there is heterogeneity involved with this mutation, it's very important for the world to look at this as the same disease and, when possible, the same treatments, and also to recognize the comorbidities and how the syndrome affects the families of the people that are affected with it. The first tip is never regret decisions that you make for your child. The decision that you make at the time you make it is based on the information you have then. Don't look back. The second tip would be don't be afraid to try a therapy that your child seems to have failed in the past. There could have been reasons that it wasn't optimally prescribed or other medications the child was on. And we have a limited number of medications to help these children. And finally, my biggest recommendation is never forget the sibling. And know that the sibling is going to be affected, or the siblings will be affected by this disease in whatever way you allow. And however you present this and however you handle it will reflect the other children.